Hey everybody, it is another review time. I have thought a lot about this review and how I wanted to approach it because if I don't get this out now, then like the hype and conversation around it is going to die down. So I don't want it to become not relevant anymore. So I am a little bit biased. I do know the conductor and the people behind the music of Encanto, and so going into this, I was trying to be as neutral as possible. I had a lot of pre-buzz beforehand and just really building that excitement and that energy around getting to see this movie. And I tried to watch it as soon as it came out. And I'm sorry about the delay in posting this video, but I just haven't felt well. And really, I just had to kind of think about and process all the feelings that I had about Encanto because there's a lot. One night really late, we decided to turn it on and watch the movie. And I don't know if it was because it was late or I just wasn't feeling well, but by the end of the movie, I just kind of tilted my head. And I told my husband, I said, I just don't know. I mean, it's good. I just don't know if it's like really, really good. Like 10 out of 10, like, off the charts good, like everybody's talking about. So I went to bed and I slept on it. And I woke up the next day and I started seeing like all the buzz around it, like people talking about it. And I said, I just must have not been in the right headspace to watch it. Like, I don't know. And that's never really happened to me with a movie before. And then I figured out why. So with this movie, there is one main key thing about it that I feel sets it apart from so many other classical Disney movies. Most classical Disney movies, when there are songs introduced into the movie, the emotion or the conversation or whatever it is that the characters are singing about, we already know the information. So a great example would be like Tangled and Now I See the Lights song. Like we already know how emotional that is and how we already know like what that means to her. And so to hear that song, it's not something that's surprising. I'm not having to really concentrate on what the words that are being said, even though it's a great song, great lyrics. Another one is like The Lion King, and when Simba's singing, I just can't wait to be king. Like we already know that. That's information we already know. The conversation is between us and that character isn't foreign to us, and so it's like we know what they're thinking, we know what they're feeling. Another great example, The Little Mermaid, Kiss the Girl. Like we know what's happening. We know why she needs to be kissed. We know why that song and that part of the movie is so classic and iconic. The information that we're receiving from these characters is not new. So with this movie, I had to step back and I had to think of it more as a Broadway show. Broadway musicals, to me, I feel like you learn new information with those songs because they have a shorter amount of time to explain situations or scenarios, and the songs sometimes actually have a dialogue between two characters that you're learning information within that song. And so with Encanto, that's what these songs were. Every song that we are presented with has an abundance of new information, and that starts the moment the movie begins with the family song. And you have to learn and retain all the different gifts of all the different family members. And you're trying to figure out, why is the village so involved? It was all new information. It wasn't things that we already knew. You're thrown a lot of information in that first song, and it was beautiful. I thought it was great. I loved the energy. I loved the personality and the quirkiness. I loved it. The next song that really sticks out as brand new information is Louisa's song. With Louisa, we don't know that she's struggling mentally with like this pressure of being the oldest and being the strongest and everybody depending on her. We are learning that the minute that song hits, and we're listening to what her internal dialogue is with her own self. Like that's new information that we didn't have before. Up until that point, we just thought that she was cool and strong and the older sister. Like we didn't know that was happening. So then again, we have another song. We'll talk about Bruno. Yes, we're going to talk about Bruno. First off, the layering, the rounds, the way that the lyrical presentation is done, the cadences that change, but the rhythms, it's just beautifully done. Like it is absolutely phenomenal to me. All of those things are each part of the individual stories that come together into that one song. So again, you have new information about a character, Bruno, but you have to keep in mind all the different reasonings that makes Bruno's story so impactful. That song encompasses the entire family story yet again. And so we're getting a new piece of information in that song. And so that's where, once I rewatched it, I fell in love. In love with the movie. 10 out of 10. You talk about an incredible storyline. The picture itself, the feel, the mood, the colors, everything about it, 10 out of 10. The songs, 10 out of 10. Stormy just came in and drinking her water, so now I'm having to wait for her to be done. Thank you, Stormy. So we'll let her leave the room. I had to rewatch it, and then once I did, and I compartmentalized all these different characters and all the different stories that were going on and the new information that we obtained through those songs, because I'll be honest, some of the songs I was like, does this even fit? Like, does the feel of the song match the movie itself? And that's when I realized what and why I struggled getting into the songs. And I was like, the songs are great, the music's great, I love the music. But when I saw it actually in the movie, I was confused or conflicted. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't like everybody. The first time I watched it, I just didn't know how I felt. But then once I rewatched it and I've watched it like 10 times now, I fall in love with it more and more every time I watch it. The Easter eggs are great. The little details that are in there, specifically the details that the house itself does, to me is incredible. It's great. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I love the personality that it gives and every little fine touch of the tiles and the wood planks. I love the emotion that the house has. It just is a solid movie, and I love it. I think you should go watch it. I think it's incredible. I just wanted to share like my perspective, because for me, it really did take me looking at it from a different angle of what I was actually gaining in the songs. It wasn't just a musical break point. It wasn't just an emotional climatic point. It was actually new information. And that's why I struggled in the beginning. But once I wrapped my head around it, I was like, this isn't classic Disney songs. These are not typical, you just already know the feelings, you already know the emotions. You are gaining new information with every song. And I think that's so important. And I think that if you take the lyrics and you rewatch it and you re-listen to it, you're going to realize just how much information you're actually getting. And it's quite substantial. Go see the movie. I think it's great. I think it's worth the watch. I think it's great for all ages. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you think about the songs the same way that I did? Have you ever thought about the songs the same way I did? I think that's an important conversation, because to me that means the writers and the creators of these movies are coming at the storyline in a different way and how they're giving us information. I think that's really important. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so down below. Leave a comment, give this a thumbs up, and we'll be doing another review very soon. Enjoy watching. Have a great day.